Have you ever wondered how your childhood experiences could affect your mental health as an adult? This question leads us to the exploration of adverse childhood experiences, commonly known as ACEs, and their lasting impact. These experiences are a collection of traumatic events that occur in childhood, ranging from emotional neglect and physical abuse to witnessing violence within one's own family. Far from being isolated incidents, such experiences are unfortunately quite common. The ripple effects of these traumatic events extend into adulthood, influencing mental health in significant ways. They have been linked to a host of mental health challenges, including depression, anxiety, substance abuse, and other psychiatric disorders. In essence, the shadow of childhood adversity is long, reaching into the corridors of adulthood, shaping and influencing mental health in profound ways. This is not just a theory, but a fact that has been substantiated by a wealth of scientific studies. One might think that such experiences are extreme and rare, but the reality is quite different. The prevalence of ACEs is alarmingly high, affecting a large percentage of the population. They are a silent epidemic, often hidden under the surface, yet exerting a powerful influence on mental health. The link between ACEs and adult mental health is not just a correlation, but a causal relationship. These experiences in early life don't just correlate with mental health issues later in life, they can actively contribute to them. The impact is far-reaching, touching on every aspect of mental health, from the development of mood disorders to substance abuse and beyond. What's more, the effects of ACEs are cumulative. The more adverse experiences a person has in childhood, the greater their risk of mental health difficulties in adulthood. It's a sobering reality that highlights the critical importance of addressing these issues early on. So, it's clear that childhood experiences can have a profound impact on adult mental health. But how can we measure this impact? This question guides us towards the next part of our exploration, delving into a groundbreaking study that sheds light on this critical issue. Stay tuned as we unravel the intricate relationship between childhood trauma and adult mental health. To answer this question, let's turn to a groundbreaking study conducted in Sweden, which used a unique approach to investigate this issue. The Swedish twin study, as it's popularly known, is a comprehensive research project that delved deep into the complex interplay of genetics, environment, and early traumatic experiences. The researchers focused on a large cohort of over 25,000 twins. Why twins, you may ask? Well, twins, particularly identical twins, share the same genes and often the same environment. This shared genetic and environmental background makes them ideal subjects for studies aiming to tease apart the influences of nature and nurture. But not all twins are created equal. There are two types of twins: identical, also known as monozygotic twins, who share 100% of their genes, and fraternal or dizygotic twins, who share about 50% of their genes, just like any other siblings. By comparing these two types of twins, the Swedish study was able to control for genetic and familial environmental factors and focus on the impact of adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs. ACEs are traumatic events that occur in a child's life, ranging from emotional neglect and physical abuse to witnessing violence within the family. By studying twins who had different exposure to ACEs, the researchers could isolate the effect of these traumatic experiences on adult mental health. This approach allowed them to uncover the impact of childhood trauma, independent of genetic predispositions. This is what made the Swedish twin study so revolutionary. It was not just about counting the number of people who had experienced trauma and then developed mental health issues. It was about understanding the intricate web of factors that contribute to our mental health and untangling the threads to see which ones lead back to childhood adversity. The study's methodology was rigorous, its sample size large, and its approach innovative. It was not looking to blame genetics or environment, but to understand how they interact with traumatic experiences. By comparing and contrasting identical and fraternal twins, by taking into account their shared genes and environments, the researchers were able to shine a light on the shadowy figure of childhood trauma that lurks in the background of many adult mental health issues. So, what did this ambitious study find out? Well, we'll get to that in the next scene. But before we do, let's take a moment to appreciate the efforts of the researchers who carried out this study. Their dedication to understanding the lasting impact of childhood adversity is a testament to the importance of this issue. Their work is a reminder that the questions we ask and the ways we seek to answer them can shape our understanding of the world and guide our actions within it. In the next scene, we'll delve into the findings of the Swedish twin study and explore what they mean for our understanding of trauma's long shadow. So, stay tuned. The results of the Swedish twin study were nothing short of remarkable. This research, encompassing more than 25,000 twins, brought forth some crucial insights about the long-lasting impact of adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs, on adult mental health. The study found that individuals who had experienced ACEs were significantly more likely to develop psychiatric disorders in adulthood than their twin counterparts who had not been exposed to such trauma. This was true even after accounting for shared genetic and environmental factors, highlighting the independent and powerful role of early life stressors. To put it plainly, the ghost of childhood trauma continues to haunt the corridors of adult mental health, irrespective of our genetic makeup. The invisible scars of early adversity persist, influencing mental health in ways that are profound and at times devastating. A particularly striking finding was the cumulative effect of multiple traumas. The more ACEs a person was exposed to, the greater their risk of developing mental health challenges later in life. This suggests that each successive traumatic experience compounds the individual's vulnerability, adding layer upon layer of potential harm. Perhaps most unsettling among the study's findings was the especially strong association between sexual abuse and later psychiatric disorders. This distressing link underscores the deep and lasting damage caused by such profound violations and the imperative need for targeted interventions to help those affected. However, it's important to remember that these findings are not a life sentence. They do not doom those who have experienced childhood trauma to a future of mental health struggles. Instead, they shed light on the areas where support and interventions can be most effective, and where our societal efforts can have the most impact. The study's findings also emphasize the importance of prevention. By understanding the devastating effects of ACEs, we can better focus our efforts on preventing these traumas from happening in the first place. This could involve anything from promoting healthy family environments to implementing policies that protect children from harm to providing support for struggling parents. In essence, the Swedish twin study paints a vivid picture of the powerful connection between childhood trauma and adult mental health. It's a sobering reminder of the lasting impact of early adversity, but also a call to action. It provides us with the knowledge we need to tackle this issue head-on and the motivation to make a real difference in the lives of those affected. In the end, the message is clear. The scars of childhood trauma run deep and can influence mental health far into adulthood. However, with understanding, compassion, and concerted action, we can help heal these wounds and foster resilience. These findings underscore the profound impact of childhood trauma on adult mental health. But what can we do about it? The answer lies in a multi-pronged approach that involves education, community support, and accessible mental health services. Together, we can confront the long shadow of trauma and build a brighter future for all. Understanding the impact of childhood trauma is just the first step. The next is figuring out how to address it. As a society, we owe it to our children to create an environment that is safe, supportive, and nurturing. This requires a commitment to both preventing childhood trauma and providing robust support for those who have experienced it. This is not a task for a few, but a collective responsibility that we all share. Education plays a pivotal role in this process. It's essential to equip children, parents, teachers, and the broader community with the knowledge and tools necessary to identify and respond to signs of trauma. Schools, in particular, can serve as a vital platform for promoting awareness and understanding of adverse childhood experiences, or ACEs. By fostering a trauma-informed approach, we can ensure that every child feels understood, supported, and empowered. Community support is another crucial element in this equation. It's in our local communities where we can create a buffer against the effects of trauma. This could mean establishing safe spaces for children, promoting open dialogue about mental health, or simply offering a helping hand to a struggling neighbor. The power of a compassionate and supportive community should never be underestimated. Access to mental health services is also vital. Unfortunately, such services are often out of reach for many due to factors such as cost, stigma, or lack of availability. We need to work towards making mental health support accessible and affordable for all, because no one should have to navigate the aftermath of trauma alone. But addressing childhood trauma isn't just about prevention and treatment. It's also about nurturing positive experiences that can serve as a buffer against the effects of trauma. Love, support, and positive engagement in schools and communities can play a significant role in healing and protecting the vulnerable. Together, we can confront the challenges posed by childhood trauma and build a foundation for lasting mental health and resilience. Thank you for joining us on this critical journey toward healing and understanding.